Hi everyone, so I finished spending the afternoon applying for jobs in England and here. I'm not applying for jobs in America. Everyone I talk to says don't come to America, so I'm not applying for jobs there. But if I get a job here working for the Americans, I'll take it. I'm trying to find something that's an in-office role because I'm getting really tired of being by myself the whole time. And things are so hard here. I can't even believe it. When I talk to people in Zimbabwe, they tell me, why didn't you just come back? I said, well, I tried, but I couldn't. I need a job first. My friends who are there, they've all had jobs. None of them have had the life I've had, being out of work, unemployed, no jobs. They've all had jobs, all of them. Whoever's capable of working in Zimbabwe, all my Indian friends, and people I went to school with, they've all had jobs. They've all got support for their small businesses. They're all doing okay. At least they don't have to beg people for money. They don't have to ask their relatives to send them money. And here I am. I came here, I graduated, and I'm sitting at home with no work. It's ridiculous. I mean, I've sent my resume to the schools. I sent it to the Toronto District School Board. I've sent it to the Catholic School Board in Hamilton. I've sent it out to so many places. I apply online to agencies, employment agencies. So, I don't know. It's really frustrating. Today I don't know what HRPA did. They sent me a link to a webinar that was held by Garda World. But when I checked my emails, I didn't register for that. So anyway, I did the training anyway and I logged it because for every hour that we do training, we get points towards renewing our designation for human resources. So I did that one it was for Garda World, and it was basically on how the security companies do investigations and what they do, what they look for. So it was interesting. One of them, the cases was about a guy who was working in a restaurant company and he was stealing like all the fancy foods and taking them home. And then he would invite all his friends over and they would enjoy all those fancy foods. So they put a camera in the fridge and that's how they caught him. And then also he was talking about how they can, if they're doing investigations, you obviously want to keep boundaries between work and home, but they can, with the permission of the police, they can put hidden cameras in your home. They can put them like in your bedrooms, in your condominiums. They can do it. So they don't have to get people, they don't have to tell you. So it's something to bear in mind. And we looked at people had a lot of questions. I was quite surprised to hear that actually when I was working at OBN Security, that's what they were telling me. And I was like, what? Don't you need permission? Like, don't you need to tell people what you're doing? And they're like, no, we don't. When we have the backup of the police and when we have a suspicion and we need to confirm something, we don't have to. Now, where I worked, in all the places I worked, you have those big cameras. You can see them. They're big round cameras. So you can see them all over in your condominiums, in your workplaces. They don't hide it. It's there. They're monitoring you. The only place they don't put cameras is in the toilets. And sometimes even there, they put them like just above the entrance so they can see who's going in and out. But yeah, it was a good seminar. I did that. And then for some reason, my calendars are not syncing. So I have two emails and usually the calendars sync, but they were not syncing. So I had to go back and check all the trainings that I've signed up for, make sure they're in my calendars. Because some of them, they send you like a meeting invite and you can accept it or decline it and then it's automatically there and it's got the link. But some of them, they don't. So you have to create the event, put it in your calendar and save it. But there's a lot that I get for the HRPA dues that I pay. The dues are almost $1,000. But with that, I get like 3 conferences that are like half-day conferences. And I get many, there's lots of free trainings that you can do in a year. They mainly lunch and learns. And the good thing, I suggested it to them actually, because sometimes if you're working, you can't do that lunch and learn right then. So they record it and they send it to us. And at least that way you can watch it at your convenience. It's not like, okay, I have this and I need to go and do this during my lunch hour. So it helps a lot. And I've got quite a few of those coming up. Next week I've got a full calendar of training. Then the week after that, nothing's come up yet. Then the end of October, and then in November. Most of it is things like looking at changes to the employment law, looking at how AI is affecting the changes that will come in with employment laws. And then one of them is on culture, how cultural differences are impacting workplaces. So that's good for me because I have a lot of experience in that, but I always join what I can to learn from others. And I put my name forward also with HRPA to do my John Maxwell training, to train others, but they haven't contacted me for any of that. And it's a little hard with the John Maxwell because you have to pay, you have to get the license, you have to pay, and then you can organize an event for them. Whereas when you're working for a company, usually they'll give you a budget. Like when I did events for HRPA, they gave us a budget of $3,000, and then from that budget we would I used to contact the hotels, set up the events and organize the catering, tell them like how many people approximately we would do it for. And then that way, we stuck to a budget, and that's a small budget. Like for HRPA, before we used to have big budgets. We used to have budgets like $10,000, $12,000, because you're dealing with senior leaders and professionals. But then they gave us $3,000, so we had to limit the numbers. And I used to book my events at Sheraton, at St. Andrew's Club and Conference Center. I know Andrew Hod there and Craig Earl. I used to work with them to book my events. And then I used to book the events on the RBC floors. RBC has their own catering floor, and TD. TD has on the 54th floor. They have their catering. So I used to book the events there for the senior executives, like the CEOs and the managing directors and all of them, because I used to work with them. But now it's very hard to get any kind of executive assistant work in the banks, especially the good ones like RBC is hard to get into. TD, I don't know why, they keep saying you must come back. I don't know how many jobs I applied with. I applied to so many jobs with them, and they never call me for an interview, so I don't know. But yeah, otherwise it's boring. If you're just staying at home and you're doing nothing, it's very boring. I ran out of almond butter. I had some peanut butter, but then I ate it already, so it's too late. But I checked the expiry date and it expired, so I went to get almond butter because it's supposed to be healthier for you. So I did that today, and then I did the rosary, and then exercised. It's really boring. This is not the life I came here for. And even my friends in Zimbabwe, they're like, oh, like it's supposed to be nice in Canada. I said, yeah, it's nice, but there's no work. It's been like this for me since I came here in 2002, and I have nothing. I don't have a cent to my name. I don't have a property. I don't know what I'm going to retire on, and I'm getting up there in years. I'm in my early 50s, and it's an awful feeling because you leave Zimbabwe, you come here, and you think, okay, it's going to be a better life. I'm going to be able to get loans to start a business, to have my own spiritual direction practice. I'm going to get the support of the community. But it's not. It's all you giving and giving and giving, and there's nothing back. There's only maybe one of the lawyers that I helped when I was doing my HRPA volunteering. She gave me some money to say that. She said, I don't know any jobs, but I'll send you some money. But I mean, other than that, it's a struggle here. It's very, very hard. And I honestly feel we had a better quality of life there. Even with the electricity cuts and all of that, because we had a strong community and we would get together at our Indian club. We would take it in turns, like to get together at people's homes. And, over here it's very hard. It's very, very hard. Like people don't look out for you when you help them. They're just happy that you help them and then they move on. And it's difficult. It's very difficult. I mean, if we didn't have the TTC, I would be walking everywhere. It's really, really hard. You can't even afford to buy a small car or to buy a little place for yourself. Nothing. And even I wrote to the St. Jude's Society because I helped them. They said, sorry, we can't help. We don't help people. Whatever money we get, we use it for our priests and we use it at the site. I wrote to all the places that I helped. Not one of them are willing to help me and my mom. So, I don't know. I applied to Emirates also. One of my friends, Privilege, was telling me that niece works for Emirates. So I applied to them, not here. They don't hire people here. I applied in America and I applied in Dubai and other places. Nothing. So I don't know. I don't know what else to do. And I don't know why God even brought me here. To be honest with you. I don't know, because it's a waste of an education. It's a waste of a life. I mean, to be sitting at home like this. And this is like the second or third time that I've lost everything. It's really not a good way to live. I mean, if you're willing to work and you're able to work, you should be able to work. But now there's nothing. So, I don't know. I wouldn't. If people ask me, like, especially now, should we come to Canada? I'd say, no, don't come. Don't come, because they don't respect your human rights. They're bringing in more and more temporary foreign workers. And then that conservative MP went and I don't know what he did. They removed him from the party, was accused of a crime. So, I mean, for me, it's not been a good experience. It's not. I mean, if you help others, you expect that when your turn comes, people are going to be willing to help you and open doors for you and help you to get into good paid jobs. No, there's nothing. So, it's tough. I spoke to some of the lawyers in my building. They're saying it's very hard to get somebody into a legal assistant role. And it's sad. People mess things up for me at Ivanhoe, Cambridge. I was there as a legal assistant. Well, they spoiled my reputation. They told me, they said, Credit Suisse spoiled your reputation. They said, we can't keep you here. I said, but it's not my fault. I didn't do anything. They're like, yeah, we know. We're very sorry. But we can't keep you. We can't take on the risk of employing you permanently. You're a very nice woman and you do a very good job, but we can't hire you. So that's what happened to my life here. It's very sad. Anyway, I think I'm going to go and do some exercise now. Enjoy the rest of the day. Then I got my leftovers from yesterday. I can have that. But yeah, it's really terrible. It's not good.